All right. So this for me though is not necessarily something that I'm surprised by. Asus is a significant hardware player. This is not surprising. I think they were probably carefully, partnered with, if I'm correct, with this whole Xbox thing. And Xbox already replied to their, original post anyways. Shout out to Nervous Breakdown, audience member. He went ahead and sent me a message with this particular clip. And I'd also seen it earlier and seen everything as well too. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to wait for a little bit of, what's going on. But the original, Rogue Ally account, having posted this teaser video, gets a response from the Xbox account. And it's this meme of mea culpa in a sense. Now, no need to run crazy and, all of this stuff. I like good hardware when it comes to it. I'm not really, going crazy thinking that all of what this is going to do is going to provide what we already have with another layer of quality of life functionality. Also, plus the fact that it's coming on the Rogue, you better get ready to open that wallet, because one thing about Asus and the Rogue brand is this is like their premium brand for gaming, right? They have like their other stuff, but in terms of gaming, this is where they basically ask you for a little bit more money over everything else. And so this is now starting to basically come together. And what's funny is just a few hours before this, Colin Moriarty put up a video saying that it doesn't make sense, that Steam on Xbox makes absolutely no sense. But in reality, Steam as an app is basically a storefront in that regard, right? If you think about it. So as an Xbox device that's going to basically go ahead and have a Windows layer to it, there's, or at least we'll have like which will probably run Windows. The Rogue Ally runs Windows. Getting Steam and saying I'm playing Steam games on an Xbox is not out of the question. So Xbox is now going to basically be $1 billion, right? So pretty much it's like this weird, how do I put it? Barrage, multifaceted, crowding in a sense. And I just feel like this is something that anybody who's underestimating it is just setting themselves up to basically become, the butt of everybody's joke, because that's how people will say stuff. Now, even though I never could conclude how they're going to do it on a console, I'm still not going to sit here and because again, they pay people to think about this stuff. They don't pay me to think about it, so sometimes I may think about it, but, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, why would I even want to bother going ahead to, bother about what Xbox is going to be doing in this particular situation, if you get what I mean, right? So this is exactly one thing that I think right now is starting to brew. And the whole conversation about the end of the year doesn't seem out of the question as well. So as early as this year, we may start seeing people say things like, look, I can play these games on an Xbox. Look, I can do this on an Xbox. Look, I can do that on an Xbox. Look, I can go ahead and, enjoy this, on Xbox. And I think this reality has basically created some trepidation pretty much in the entire conversation. Some people, I don't know if they like it. I don't know if some people are not fans of it and whatnot, but it's very interesting, to go ahead and see how they engage with all of this stuff. So again, it's one of those wait and see for me. It's one of those wait and see, things, watch and see how it plays out. I'm curious as to how other people are going to approach it. I mean, Rogue is going to be slightly pricey, but I think there are a lot of folk who are Xbox mains who are going to buy this thing with no thought or hesitation. They're going to basically sit there and buy it. Like, it's not going to be, this thing's probably going to sell out. I'm not kidding you. Because it will show you and this is what I'm sensing. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be jumping out to go buy it. Just got myself a 9070 XT. That's already my Super Series Xbox or whatever the heck you want to call it. right? But you can already see that there are a lot of people who are going to be basically downing this stuff. They're going to be mostly people who play on the consoles. For them, this is a proxy device that has extra functionality, right? It has Steam. Ooh, yo, you're gonna see a very interesting switch, because this is usually how console players have been getting into the PC ecosystem, via handhelds. And so those who have not gotten themselves a Steam Deck or even gotten themselves a ROG Ally or any other of the handheld devices, I think this is a market that many of them are going to basically be able to go ahead and engage in. So we'll see how this all plays out as soon as time can give us a good picture of what this is. So thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.